Excellency Governors, members of NGA, all invited guests, it's my pleasure to address you today on behalf of the Kenyan delegation of about 45. In that delegation, we have 23 governors and deputy governors. We also have our CEO of the Council of Governors, 3 senators who sit in the Senate, the control of budget, and deputy cabinet secretary representing the national government, and a host of so many other officers from our legislature and from our executives. We've been here since Monday. On the invitation of the NGA, and I want to thank Governor Sandoval and Scott Pattison for that invitation. It is the second one where we've come. This is only the first biggest delegation, because in our Kenyan Constitution, the Kenyan Constitution borrows heavily the system of governance that is existing in Kenya. So we thought that this visit will be useful for us to be able to learn from a system that has been there for so many years. We've only been functional the last 6.5 years. Essentially, to learn how you run the state governments, the workings of the state governments, your engagement with the private sector. We've been observing that since yesterday, and we've learned quite a lot, so that we can be able to build a partnership for the future, a partnership that's going to be mutually beneficial to both the United States and Kenya. Kenya has a long history of engagement with the United States through the WTO rules, but also through various agreements that we've entered in various sectors: defense, health, trade, education, etc. And over the last couple of years, we've had agreements that have more or less benefited both countries in the sectors of health, energy, trade, particularly the African Growth Opportunity Act, which has enabled African countries, including Kenya, to be able to trade easily and be given incentives to be able to bring their goods into the United States. It's only last month, on the 29th June, that a renewed agreement, MOU, was signed between the United States government and the Kenya government that is touching on certain key areas of priorities for Kenya, which we call the Big Four. And these are the areas of food security, manufacturing, health, and affordable housing. So the agreement also further goes into more engagement with the United States government in the areas of manufacturing, infrastructure development, clean energy and renewable energy, the digital economy, and all other areas, including mining, the entire area of the extractives, mining and oil. So what we've learned from here, and essentially that is fitting into the priorities for Kenya government, and the priorities for Kenya government is also the priorities of the 47 subnational governments. It's essentially that the NGA's key focus is 5: economic opportunities, health, education, homeland security and public safety, and environment, energy, and transportation. Essentially, this matches very well with the priorities that we ourselves in Kenya are focusing on. And we think this is an area where we can be able to add ourselves synergies, particularly with the strengths that you have. And we've seen through the engagements, the sort of high-level discussions you are having that is going to be benefiting us much more. We have also seen that your engagement with the industry, private sector industry, over the yesterday and this morning, is so very close. And it gives the opportunity for industry that leads in innovation and in what it does best to be able to contribute to the public good, which governors are key to them. And we think that this is something we've borrowed, and this is something that we can be able to take back and be able to put in those quality engagements. The other takeaway is the NGA established best practice center, and of course the best practice projects that we've seen being presented here. And I think to us this is a very big lesson that we will take back with us. And we also learned that you're also looking at lessons learned from other countries to be able to improve your own, but also best practices within the states of what one state does better that can benefit all the others. And I think that is the essence of the Council of Governors, to be able to benefit both within ourselves, but also benefit from governments and subnational governments that have done this very well before. I think we learned that the examples were being given of Switzerland and Germany, where they've had a much better system that integrates the youth into the job environment through the trainings and that system. And I think this is very useful. We've also learned the matter on government role in growing state economies. That a governor must at all be able to understanding not only the workings of the state economy, but the entire global economy, because that's where the market that's where the leverage is for the competitiveness of your state. And I think this is important for us, because when we began our journey of setting up our subnational governments, the politics in our country was saying, governor, stick in your state. What are you doing outside your state? I think we learned that this engagement outside helps us be able to do much better. Biggest takeaway is that we've got to build relationships. I know there's a lot your states can be able to benefit from Kenya. There's also a lot of benefit from us from your state. So we do hope that the engagement we've begun can be able to be taken forward. We hope with NGA we're going to be discussing, and particularly looking at the agreement that the US government and Kenya government has done, so that we can relook at it and see what sort of areas between the Council of Governors and NGA can be able to collaborate on. And I hope that we can be able to engage on this moving forward. And finally, I want to thank Governor Sandoval. I also want to thank Governor Bullock and Scott Martin and all the governors we engaged with yesterday and the day before yesterday. And we hope that this engagement is going to prosper, and we can be able to match the various states here, the various counties in Kenya, and to see what advantages they can be able to gain from each other. I know quite a significant number of countries here are in Kenya. They are the source of the apparels, they are the source of the macadamia nuts that come in here, they are the source of several other things that the US government imports from Kenya, and we hope that we can be able to build that synergy to provide you a market back home, but also for us to get a market here for the produce that we are producing. And most important is for us to be able to learn from you and to be able to improve how we deliver public good for the people of Kenya. So I want to thank you once again for hosting us, particularly the host governor, Governor Martinez, and we hope that we will come back again here. And we normally organize two particular meetings for Council of Governors. One is a governors meeting. We do it regularly. But every end of the year, in April, we celebrate what we call devolution in Kenya. Because this is something new, it's not been there. And the next year, we hope we can be able to invite the NGA to come and give us an address and during that period. So thank you so much, Governor Sandoval. for this opportunity of addressing you, and we hope that we will have a much better collaboration moving forward. Thank you.
Governor, thank you, and you're an inspiration to all of us and to the delegation again. Welcome. I look forward to our collaboration.